Welcome back for another Magic Moonday, everyone. I hope this week is already treating all of you well. I apologize for being a few minutes late. I was having some minor technical difficulties via the docs. My technology, however, is actually behaving itself for once. So it is another weekly moon sign. So if you do not know what your moon sign is, you can very quickly calculate that using any sort. You can just type it in. What's my moon sign? And a calculator will pop up on Google. Uh, Another joy of technology. We're going to work our way from Pisces through to Aquarius. And for those of you who are in the chat at the end, I may or may not, depending on time, pull a crystal card for you if you would like. Okay? If I did not say so already, welcome back to those of you who are returning, and welcome to the tribe, those of you who are new. The channel again is growing, probably due to the fact that I'm actually back live streaming and not getting shoved to the bottom of the algorithm pile anymore. So we are going to use the Moonology deck, and this is by Yasmin Boland, and I'm just going to quickly pull a card out for each moon sign. Now, your moon sign has represents your inner dialogue, right? So basically how you feel about you is your moon sign. How others see you is more your rising or your ascendant, and your sun sign is usually more represented in how you interact with others, kind of thing. Okay. I may have that wrong. If I do, correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's my understanding of it. All right. So I will timestamp these at the end. Or if you're watching and you would like to throw up a timestamp in the comment section, that would be great too. Try not to do it in the chat though, because those don't always coincide with what the actual recording will be after it processes. So also it takes a little bit for these to process, so the chat doesn't show up until usually the next day or so. So for those of you who will be watching this off of your notifications or however you get your info here from Living Your Magic Life, you'll get to see that a little bit sooner than the rest of the general populace. All right, so let's get started with Pisces. I already shuffled this deck, so we're just going to take whichever one pops out first. All right, and this is for Pisces moon. All right, and you guys get the new moon in Taurus card. So there is prosperity ahead for those of you in that have a Pisces moon. And I want to say the new moon in Taurus will be the beginning of May, I believe. I'm not sure. Throw that up in the chat if you know where that is. So let's pull that out really quick. I can never remember what order these are in. Okay, so they started these. Okay, so Taurus, the new moon in Taurus card, Pisces. This card often comes up when you're inquiring about a financial situation. Obviously, it has to do with prosperity. And it also comes up when you're doubting your self-worth. This card suggests you can have what you want, including material things, but you must believe in yourself. Ooh. So this comes down to the laws of attraction. It says, value yourself and others will value you too. You can create abundance. Remember, Taurus is associated with luxurious Venus, and this card holds the new moon energy. So now is a good time to make a 12-month financial plan, it says. This card can also signal the start of a new relationship or even some more romantic times, Pisces. So if you've been wrestling with something for a long time, the new moon is in sturdy Taurus is a sign to give up or to not give up just yet. Hello, husband. Okay, so Pisces, prosperity in all ways is coming your direction. And the only thing that you have to kind of do is, well, remember your own self-worth. That shouldn't be too hard, right? And if you need some help reminding you, well, just tune in here and I will. It's kind of what we're all about here, Magic Mo. Okay. Next is Aries moons. All right, Aries moons, you guys got a personal issue reaches resolution, the full moon in Cancer card. Ooh, I like that. So that's really good for you, Aries. Now, we're also getting ready to launch into Aries season here in just a couple weeks. So this whole resolution that may be coming about could have to do with something that you've been working on over the last 6-ish weeks or so. Okay. And I believe that, you know what? I'm not sure when the full moon in Cancer is. Oh, I almost flipped right to it. Nice. Okay, so Aries moons, you guys get the full moon in Cancer card. And it basically says that things are likely to get really heated as the full moon in Cancer is a super emotional sign. So there could be something of an explosion of feelings around now or surrounding your current question. Okay. It's important to be sensitive to other people when you pull this card as well. There are some very fine sensibilities around, so tread carefully as you move towards your goals or dreams and make sure you're not railroading other people, okay? This card also indicates an especially feminine time. It also heralds the time to deal with any family issues coming up, reminds you that there's nothing to worry about, and it could also signal a challenge is now coming to an end. Okay, so this card also suggests both that a domestic matter or private issue will soon come to a head and that it's a great time to move house. Ooh, so there may be some travel involved here too for you, Aries moons. It says the answer to your question lies in being a kind leader. And this is the time for you to step up and agree to overcome your insecurities right now, right? So those of you who have Aries moon energies really have that whole dynamism that is embodied by the sign of Aries and that whole, go out and get it kind of thing. And so I really feel like the personal issue that's reaching resolution right now is really having to do with something that you've been actively working on. This isn't something that's just going to resolve itself and fall into your lap just because, well, you wanted it to. This is something you've been actively pursuing or actively trying to make happen in some way, okay? All right, next we have Taurus moons. Oh, also, it probably more than likely has something to do with your family or your family unit or the way you perceive your family. Just as a side note, Aries moons, okay? All right, Taurus moons. Let's get yours. Here it is. Wow, that came out quick. Okay, you guys get the new moon in Gemini card. Remember that communication is key, Taurus moons. So this is not the time to be the bull in the china shop. I'm not sure what is going on with my light here right now, but sorry, guys. So communication is going to be key. And I know sometimes that Taurus energy makes you want to just kind of say fuck it and not deal with it. But this is definitely not the time to do that. Okay, Taurus moons. So let's look your card up. Okay, so the new moon in Gemini is reminding you, Taurus moons, that a successful relationship will usually come down to one thing: communication. Right? And the new moon in Gemini card is all about the start of a new cycle for communicating with the person at the center of your question. Remember that talking things through is the answer to whatever it is you're asking about. If you can't actually talk to that person, you can journal about it to yourself. Emails, text messages, and all other forms of communication will also help you now. If the issue you're asking about concerns a sibling or neighbor, there's a new start coming. And it is also a time to wipe this slate clean and start over. This card could also suggest you've been too frivolous lately and need to get grounded again. But most importantly, drawing this card emphasizes the need to communicate. Okay? Right? Imagine that communication. Weird. Okay, not always your strongest suit, Taurus moons, but I definitely have faith in your abilities. We can tap into a little bit of that sun sign energy and figure it out. All right. Now, Gemini moons, you're next. There we go. And you guys get the waxing moon energy. Okay, so this energy is gaining momentum, right? So you're kind of sitting right there at the top of that roller coaster, starting to go downhill, and it's getting faster and faster. So what's in the cart going down the hill for you? What have you been putting your energy into? Because it is now starting to gain a lot of traction in the physical real world. So this is something you guys have been dreaming about for a long time, which isn't surprising to me, Gemini moons. That's kind of a little bit of your guys' forte. So let's see what the card itself has to say. I got to remember where this one is. Sorry. There we are. Oh my goodness. Maybe that's not where it is. Oh, it was in the back. I was right the first time. Sorry, guys. The waxing moon for Gemini moons. And I love how these two little birds at the bottom are kind of flying towards that light, right? Or they're following that one that's leading. So maybe you're leading in something too right now, Gemini moons. Remember that during the waxing moon cycle, hope springs eternal. This card is a very positive omen, indicating that you can create the reality that you're dreaming of, though it will take some work and you're not quite there yet. This is a time of energies rising up. Emotions are building too. So where do you want to go? And do you believe you can get there? Either you can just keep meditating and focus on your desired outcome, or you can make the courageous commitment to take more practical steps towards your goals, Gemini moons. Whichever you decide, you are most certainly on the right track. So getting this waxing moon energy is kind of your confirmation right now that whatever it is that you've been dreaming about and putting a little bit of your energy into is now ready to kind of launch into the ether and start manifesting physically into your reality. It's just going to take a little bit more work. So keep pushing on, Gemini moons. Okay, you got this. All right, Cancer moons. All right, you guys get the full moon in Scorpio. Ooh, your fellow water sign. So remember, it is time to release negativity. Good one, Cancer moons. Right? You guys have a tendency to hold a little bit of the mind grudge a little bit, but it's something that most people don't really know about because you guys have a tendency to focus most on your family and your relationships, but you guys can kind of get into that negativity sink every now and then due to your emotionality. So remember, you are the ruler of your emotions, not the other way around. All right. I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but sometimes you just need to look at it and see it for what it is and then focus somewhere else. But there's no sense in dwelling on, that person who cut you off or the person that pisses you off at work or, whatever you're talking about. Of course you don't, my Cancer moon husband. You have a double Cancer, so, you're kind of getting the double whammy on this. But I have a feeling that this little book right here is going to give you a good piece of advice on top of the one I just gave you. So let's look up the full moon in Scorpio. Remember, though, right now it is not the time to go around stinging everyone with your stinger willy-nilly because of this full moon Scorpio energy. You want to embody the transformative aspects of Scorpio, right? Let's read this. Okay, Cancer moons. The full moon in Scorpio card is telling you that if you've been feeling paranoid and acting weird, take this card as a very direct message from the cosmos to stop it. Worrying yourself is pointless. It's time to release any negativity you have around the situation you're asking about. And if someone has been unkind to you, perhaps it's time for you to release them. This card heralds an emotionally intense time since both the full moon and Scorpio themselves are both extremely intense. It's time for you to feel all your feelings. There could be some nastiness in the air around when you pull this card. And if that's the case, take it as a sign to move away from anyone or anything you feel is toxic. For some, however, this card has a totally different meaning. It means your sex life can improve now if you make an effort. So use your magic, Cancer moons. You have all you need inside you to bring about your desired results. Ooh, beautiful. So there's a little bit of a double message there for you, Cancer moons. Maybe you can pick and choose your battles here. All right. Leo moons, you are next. Trying to think of who I know that has a Leo moon. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. All right, you get the gibbous moon. It says you're very close to achieving your goal. Ooh, it looks like you are being asked for that one last push. because you are almost there, Leo moons. Like, it's literally so close you can reach out and touch it or taste it or whatever it is you want to do when it gets close to you. All right, the gibbous moon. See if I can find it. They have these in weird sections, so I'm never sure where to look for these moon phase cards. This one's probably in the front. And yep. I apologize that I have to hunt and peck these. They're kind of in a weird order, and there we go. Okay. Leo moons, your message from the gibbous moon card says the word gibbous means bulging. What a descriptive word, right? And pulling this card at any time of the month suggests that the situation you're asking about is bulging with possibility and coming to a peak. But this isn't an ending card with a neat yes or no answer. Rather, you're being reminded that some adjustments may yet be required before you get what you want. Though you're certainly on the right track, which is hopefully reassuring for you. However, there is also a sense that the situation is a bit tense. So don't push too hard. One false move and the whole thing could blow. That's not meant to scare you. It's just to let you know that there's a fuse attached to this situation. So be careful if you choose to light it. Ooh, a little challenge coming out too with that. So, in other words, be very careful what it is you are wishing for right now, Leo moons, because it most certainly is about to land in your lap. Maybe quite explosively. Boy, so far the moon signs are pulling some pretty epic messages. So let's continue with Virgo. Remember, once again, these are for your moon signs, not your sun signs. So hit the little natal calculator in your closest Google search and figure out what yours is. All right, Virgos, you guys get the third quarter moon, okay? Adjustments are required right now, okay? So whatever it is that you're working on right now, you're being asked to take a pause and maybe run a few tests, because there's definitely some adjustments that are required right now in some way, shape, or form. I want to say it has to do mostly with maybe your finances or your career in some way, maybe job perspectives or something to that effect is what's coming through for you right now, Virgos. Let's see, the third quarter moon, I should be in the, probably in the front. Yeah. Okay, so the message from the 3/4 moon for you, Virgo moon, says to think of yourself as a vessel that has been filled more and more over the past few weeks. And some of what has come your way may have been wonderful, but there is also a lot of negativity, and you need to let go of this. Whatever situation you're asking about now, be honest about whether there are toxic emotions involved, which you need to release into the ethers. This card also comes with the promise that all is not lost. However, there are changes or adjustments required before you will get to where you want to be. A change, of course, is forecast now that recent events have been understood and acted upon. There may also be a crisis, which will remind you what you want and what it's time to let go of. So pay attention to those things, especially those things that are trying to leave right now, Virgo moons. It could be a job, I'm feeling more it has to do with your job and your career rather than your relationship. But it could also have to do with a relationship too. If it does have to do with a relationship, this is probably one that you've been in for a long time. So, and this is probably definitely not something that's a new need to change it. It's probably something you've been thinking about for quite some time. Okay. But there is definitely some adjustments that need to be made before you can move forward into your next cycle or level or however you want to put it. Okay. All right. Libra moons, should I say. Hello, Libra moons, because I have a Libra moon myself. Let's see what her card is. All right. So we get the new moon in Leo. So confidence is your key to success. Ooh, this is often something I try to struggle with, although most of the time I try to fake it till I make it. And it works. But your confidence in yourself right now is going to be key, Libra moon. So start becoming your own best cheerleader. I mean, if you're not rooting for you, how do you expect other people to root for you? It's not their job to validate your existence, right? It's your job to tell everybody who you are, right? So, what is your I am right now, Libra? I hope it goes something like, I am an awesome light for the world. That would be cool. All right. I know sometimes it says, or that's easier said than done, but I have complete and utter faith in each and every one of you, including myself. All right. New moon in Leo is telling us, Libra moons, that this card heralds the start of a new cycle for you, when you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, and more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. So think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carrying yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children as well. Right? And I think we all kind of wish that for our children, right? So remember, right now, Libra moons, confidence is key. And that's a lot of times where we kind of get stuck in our heads a little bit. Because we always see the improvement, right? We always see that need to balance. And right now we're being asked to just let those scales weigh even and really develop that confidence you need to launch yourself into who and what you are and what you want to be in the future. All right? Nice. All right, Scorpio moons. I know I have a few of you watching. I am a Scorpio sun, so hello to my fellow Scorpio energy. Although this is for Scorpio moons, of which 2 of my children are Scorpio moons, actually. So, all right, it is a time to give rather than take right now, Scorpio moons. You get the new moon in Virgo card, okay? It's really easy to kind of get stuck in that whole complacency. It's kind of where I feel like this is calling you to kind of step out of a little bit. Sometimes things get really comfortable and you get kind of stuck in whatever the status quo is for you at a particular time in your life. And I feel like right now you guys are kind of being offered that nudge to level up once again. So it's time to pull out your scorpionic transformative skills, Scorpio moons, okay? Let's see what this new moon in Virgo card has to say to you. And I love the picture on these cards. Okay, so when this card comes up, it's time for you to take stock of your situation, Scorpio moons. So where are you and where do you want to go? The new moon energy of this card suggests a restart, and the Virgo energy suggests you make that restart a clever one that's simple and well organized. Virgo also has a strong health aspect to it. So if you've been unwell, this card suggests that your health is on the up. Virgo loves clean eating and alternative therapies, so add these into your routines right now, however you've been feeling. If a situation is blocked at the moment, it could be that you're overanalyzing things or being too critical. So it's time to ask less what someone else can do for you and to think more about what you can do for others. Okay? That kind of goes back to, what I was saying before reading the card. There's a situation around you somewhere that's really where you're really being asked to kind of step up a little bit and kind of handle something. And with your Scorpio energy, I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that you will step up and handle it. So get out there and do it. But try to do it tactfully in your highest Scorpio aspect as either the eagle or the dove. Look at things from the observer perspective. I know sometimes that can be hard because Scorpios kind of get wrapped up in their emotions as well. But this is where you really need to put on that steely face and deal with the facts as they are, and then get that ball rolling in the right direction, okay? And more than likely, this is going to be getting the ball rolling in the right direction for someone else, not necessarily for yourself. Okay, Sagittarius, you are next. So those of you with a Sagittarius moon, your card for this week is going to be the full moon in Taurus card. Okay, so lots of Taurus energy floating around here. Your dreams need a practical plan. So it's time for you to step out of the dreaming phase and into the planning phase, right? But not just a dream planning, an actual planning. So whether it be a business plan or a plan for you to buy a house or expand your business or whatever, go back to school, whatever it happens to be right now, Sagittarius moons, you're being asked to get that practical plan in place. Okay, so let's read how the full moon in Taurus energy is going to help you do that. Pages are sticking together. Okay, there we go. Okay, so sometimes you need to weave a bit of magic, and sometimes you need to be practical, and sometimes you need to find a combination of the two. This card suggests to you, Sagittarius moons, that this is where you are now. You need to use the laws of attraction to draw in what you want by imagining it, expecting it, and welcoming it. But you need to balance that with taking down to earth steps towards your goal. This isn't about wishing on the moon and hoping for the best. It's about making something like a list of bullet points about how to achieve your dreams. If you're asking about money, this card heralds a change of financial fortunes depending on both your past actions and what you're expecting, and therefore attracting. Okay? Because remember, you're not necessarily attracting what you're feeling. You are, however, attracting what you're expecting. Okay, so be very careful about your I am statements, especially right now, Sagittarius moons, because those are going to sneak up and slap you in the face real quick. That will be the fastest way to your manifestations. Okay, so your dreams need a practical plan, Sagittarius moons. All right, Capricorn moons. Wow, that popped out fast. You get the mutable moon. Nice. Okay, it says nothing is yet set in stone. Okay, so you're being given a little bit of wiggle room, even if it feels like maybe you don't have any or there's not any option. Remember that there is nothing but options. All right. All right, let's pull that one out. There we go. It went past it. Sorry. Okay, remember Capricorn moons that mutable is all about change, shape shifting, even. That something is still developing. This card indicates that something is indeed changing and there's room for maneuver. So take it as a sign that the situation you're asking about is far from finalized. So if you're not happy with the current state of play, that's marvelous. It means you can still change the course of the outcome. However, there is also a sense that the situation could perhaps be a little unstable. For some, this is great news because you can still influence it. Others will struggle with the uncertainty, but should stay with it a little longer. Either way, nothing is set in stone yet. Okay, so stay adaptable right now. Make sure that you're not being led astray by things of an emotional nature. Have you become distracted lately? In which case, stay focused on the task at hand. Um, and basically just stay with it, whatever it means to you. It's what you're being asked right now, Capricorn moons. And last but in no way least, our Aquarius moons. And then I think we're going to just cut this because it's already 36 minutes in, or 37 minutes in. All right. Oh, Aquarius moons. Oh, that isn't. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. You guys get the disseminating moon. Okay. So it's time for you to take time to breathe out. All right. So you're being asked to kind of take a little bit of a rest right now, Aquarius moons. You've been working really, really hard on something, and maybe it's time for you to kind of take a break and get a bit of a breather, get outside more, maybe take a small, short vacation somewhere or a long vacation somewhere, depending on your situation. But it's definitely time for you to focus on something fun. Okay. Let's see what this card says. I have no idea where this one is in here, so I might have to hunt for this for a second, guys. Sorry. It would be so much easier if this had like a table of contents so that I could just look up what page number it's on. Instead, I have to sit here and hunt through these. There it is. Okay. I'll try to remember where these are all for next time. Okay, Aquarius moons. The disseminating moon is telling you that the intensity of the full moon has abated. And what are you left with? That's what this card is asking you. It suggests that the situation you're asking about has now peaked and it's time for you to regroup and learn from your experiences rather than blindly forging ahead. Have faith that what is happening is for the best. Try to accept the way things are now and give yourself and others time out to relax. Breathe. We can't be on all the time. If you feel you've hit an obstacle and even failed in some way, now is the time to reflect on how to do things differently next time. So be honest with yourself if you feel bad about your current situation. And then remind yourself that life goes in cycles, right? And that's one of the best things about life. If it's bad, well, it's going to get better. If it's good, chances are you're going to have another challenge ahead, but you'll have that good experience to fall back on, to remind you that this too shall pass. I think that's a great message to leave this on today. Thank you for joining me for this Moon Sign Weekly. This will be our new Monday live stream. Thank you as always for supporting our channel in every way you can, especially by liking and sharing. We are on very limited social media, so all your guys' sharing really does help to build our tribe. So thank you. And until next time, may favor follow you wherever you go, as does my love. I'll see you all again tomorrow morning at 11. That's Central Time for those of you who are in other places. So, do the math there. Bye, everyone. Be good.